But what if Instagram is actually worse than porn? Welcome back to Candid Connections, where we start conversations to help you improve your relationships, whether they be romantic or platonic. Recently, we took the Candid Connections Reddit account for a spin to answer some relationship questions, and we saw one question come up over and over and over. It had a lot of different variations, but it was usually something like, is it looking at Instagram models cheating? Or is it okay to like other girls' pictures on Instagram? Or anything sort of like that. It turns out this is a really common question. Because these questions are usually about Instagram and specifically men looking at women on Instagram, that's the terminology I'm going to use. But the principles we talk about today apply to all genders and any social media platform. Adjust the pronouns as you see fit. This is a big question, so to make sure we answer it thoroughly, we need to break it down into its common elements. The facts are these. A partner that follows, looks at, likes, or messages other girls on social media. The other partner that feels inadequate, unloved, jealous, or cheated on because of that behavior. And one or both partners asking themselves, is their behavior wrong, or am I the problem? And that's the question we want to answer today. Now, I'm not a therapist, but Jonathan Decker from Cinema Therapy is, and he said something recently that is quite relevant to this.
Honestly, in a healthy relationship, there's very few things that are actually wrong.
Right.
Like cheating is wrong, dishonesty is wrong, abuse is wrong. Literally everything else is an issue of perspective.
But since this question is about what things are actually considered cheating, that doesn't totally help us answer the question. To answer whether this Instagram model ogling is considered cheating, we need to look at the difference between looking and liking. Let's call looking at scantily clad women on Instagram what it is. Porn. Pornography is defined as printed or visual material intended to stimulate erotic rather than aesthetic or emotional feelings. There are a lot of studies discussing the negative impacts of pornography on relationship health, but that doesn't automatically make it infidelity. There are a lot of couples who mutually agree that pornography is unacceptable, but there are others who are completely fine with it. Quick side note. Regardless of your feelings on pornography, it is an issue that you must be on the same page about. If you're familiar with our flag system, this is an orange flag issue, meaning that if you don't discuss it and make sure you're on the same page, it will break you. But here's where things get kind of weird. What if Instagram is somehow worse than porn? Because there's a lot of people who are perfectly okay with porn in their relationship who aren't okay with the notably less graphic version that social media offers. In fact, one study found that while a quarter of Americans consider using porn without your partner to be a type of cheating, more than half of Americans thought following an ex on Facebook was considered cheating. Why are people concerned with Instagram but fine with Playboy? In a word, interaction. Once you're on a social media platform like Instagram, you can like, comment, or even message these girls. And that's why it feels so much more like cheating. It's one thing for my wife and I to be sitting together on the beach and for me to see attractive girls in bikinis. It's a very different thing if I go up to one of those girls and tell her how hot she looks in that bikini. And that's the message that liking a girl's risque picture conveys. It's basically saying, hey, I think you're hot in this. While this behavior alone may or may not be considered cheating, most affairs, including emotional affairs, start pretty innocently and then escalate. So what may start as a couple likes could become comments and then messaging and then a full-on emotional affair, even if it is just a one-sided one. The girl doesn't have to be interested in the guy for him to get way too invested in her. Regardless of whether it escalates, the key concern here isn't on what behaviors are or aren't okay. It's on how the other person feels. The common theme among all these posts is that these women are feeling unloved, unattractive, and wholly inadequate. And you know what? I get that. If my wife were sitting next to me on the couch, scrolling through endless pictures of muscular shirtless men with chiseled jawlines, I'd feel pretty inadequate too, even though I'm quite at peace with my naturally cartoonish features. Anywhere you see this debate, you will find people defending the behavior, saying these women are being overly sensitive, controlling, or insecure. and I think that's stupid. You don't get to decide how your actions make other people feel. And if your actions make her feel unattractive, then you don't get to tell her that they shouldn't. What you do get to do is decide what you're gonna do about it. That was a lot of do's. And that is the key to this whole conversation. It isn't about what is right or what is wrong, it's about how you respect each other's feelings and resolve conflict. Now we have a whole separate video on conflict resolution, but this one is a little bit more about boundaries. Every person has the right to decide what boundaries they're comfortable with in a relationship, and their partner has to decide whether they're willing to respect those boundaries. And if they aren't, odds are the relationship's in trouble. If you're the one who's feeling uncomfortable and unattractive because of your partner's behavior, talk to them about it. Make sure you understand what your boundaries are and then tell them how you feel. If they aren't willing to respect your boundaries, be prepared to end the relationship and find someone who's willing to respect you and share your values. If you're the one doing the online girl gazing and your partner voices concerns, you should respect them and try to understand their perspective. Relationships often require some sacrifices, and you have to decide if this is one you're willing to make. Consider asking yourself, is this behavior worth hurting someone I care about? And if you decide that looking at hot girls on Instagram is more important, then don't be surprised if you find yourself distinctly single in the near future. Above all, make sure you set healthy boundaries, respect your partner's boundaries, and together we can make the world a little bit of a better place. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy this kind of content, please be sure to like and subscribe and check out our other videos. We'll hope to catch you in the next video.